Guardian Unlimited.
This is Andras Schiff introducing Beethoven's Piano Sonata number 8 in C minor, the Pathétique, Opus 13.
That was Opus 10, and now just briefly about the Pathétique, because you know it very well, and I don't want to hold you all too long. This was written just a year after Opus 10. It's dedicated to Herzog Karl von Lichnowsky, another great supporter of the arts and music and a great friend of Beethoven's. And its title is already Grand Sonata. Pathétique is obviously not a name given by Beethoven, but he certainly hadn't protested against the publisher's name, and there is certainly something very grand about this, and full of pathos, full of grandeur, of tragedy, reminiscent of Greek tragedies. The whole gesture, there is a grave first part, Now comes the Allegro molto con brio, second section. This first part that I just played, grave, is often thought of as the introduction, but I beg to differ, because this is the first theme. It returns over and over again in this sonata in different keys, and this is not an introduction like later in Opus 111 when you have this will never return after you reach the Allegro. You will never hear this again. It is very different with the Pathétique Sonata. Now, therefore, although there is no manuscript, it had been lost, unfortunately. So the first edition puts the repeat sign at the beginning of Allegro molto e con brio. But I never forget when I heard Rudolf Serkin play this, and not just that he played it most magnificently, but at the end of the exposition, and he went back to the and everybody was shocked, but it really convinced me, because it's a different piece that way. Again, we have different proportions, and I feel quite strongly about this, that the repeat must go back to the beginning of the piece. Then you will have a gigantic first movement, and that will be counterbalanced by the other two movements, which are rather lighter, not lightweight, but certainly lighter by comparison. The dotted rhythms of this pathetic sonata, if you think of Bach's C minor partita, so this is a grand romantic gesture, but it goes back to Baroque and to Bach. So again, it's a very heavy, thick chord, but it starts forte piano. So it's a strong attack, and then the dynamic must drop. It's very difficult, but you can do a certain trick on the piano that you attack a chord and you hold it with the pedal, and then you repress the keys 2 or 3 times again without sound. I don't want to sound too technical here, but it's important. Yep. Because you have to achieve this sudden drop of dynamics. Bum, bum. Yeah, that's what he wants. Yeah. And then dissonance. Even more dissonant. Of tension. Now he's pleading, refusal. And this is not a virtuoso run, and it should not be too fast, and there is no crescendo. I always hear this was a huge crescendo. If Beethoven wanted here a crescendo, he would have written one. No crescendo. Now. And you hear this. It's a tremolando, and it's very unpianistic. This whole sonata, written by this great pianist, is so unpianistic I couldn't describe it. It's like an orchestral reduction, a piano reduction of an orchestral score. And the Blitz und Donner. And then the storm quietens down a little. Now comes a very different theme.